People seem to forget, if you change today, today will change your life. Hello, welcome to the Self-Belief Chief podcast, and you're here with life coach David Holman. And in this week's episode, I'm bringing to you a coaching call between myself and an author who's looking to package up his materials, to package up his product, to make more sales, but someone who's got a mindset block, a shift, which if he can overcome this, will radically transform his business, radically transform his sales, and give him the type of presence and contribution that he wants in life. So I really look forward to presenting this coaching session for you. For anyone who's looking to make more impact in other people's life and to get paid doing it, this will be a great episode for you. How's it doing?
Hey, David. Yeah, I'm awesome, and I'm really glad to be with you today.
Perfect. Okay. And tell me a little bit about what's been going on with you since we last spoke. So what have you managed to do since we last spoke?
Yeah, we had a coaching call like a year ago or less than a year ago, and I was talking to you about my book and what I want to do with it, and my dream of being a best-selling author and like to impact people through my writing. And it's been a very beautiful year. I have achieved a lot of of what I wanted. I became a best-selling author in
Fantastic.
some of the bookstore here in Egypt, and now I'm talking with some like foreign language publishers like in Norway, and we are negotiating the deal. Also, the Arabic version of my book will be released like in 2 months maximum.
Mm-hmm.
I've been invited to some summits and some events to talk into or give a panel discussion. And this was really good and awesome, but this is the bright side of the story of the journey. The dark side of it is like uh, sometimes you get confronted with the reality, or you face the reality of the industry that you're going through. And what I found out in the publishing industry is books are not the first resource or first stream of income that you get your money from. Like, I'm very happy with the impact that I'm doing and all the positive reviews and the message that I get. But I want to like balance it with like financial reward, like
Mm-hmm.
moral and spiritual reward, and the financial reward or materialistic reward. So I faced the fact that is the cycle of getting your realities is like a bit slow in Egypt. I didn't focus on Amazon too much, so I focused only on offline marketing and how to sell the books that are in the bookstores already. So I want to focus more on sales on Amazon and online. Also, I want to like have more faith in my voice to transform or repackage this information to make it in other forms, like in workshops or retreats or coaching seminars. And this is what I want to work with you in. I want to have like a belief in my voice. I want to believe more in what I offer, because a lot of people are telling me you have a lot of good information. You have a potential of becoming a great speaker. But when I like sit with myself, I don't feel like taking money from people and getting them some knowledge, or like just talking and like structure a workshop for them. I feel that I will always like not giving them what's worth their money that they have paid. I also like don't believe in charging much. I also like want to like make my workshops cheap. I have like some coaching clients. I charge very few dollars. Like it's not what I want out of my coaching. So how to overcome this like insecurity of not believing of getting money from people like in exchange of information. Like, I have a very big potential of workshops that I want to make here in Egypt. A lot of people asked me to do is like how to write, publish, and market your book, because a lot of people here in Egypt have books and don't know how to publish it on Amazon or any online libraries. They don't know how to market it. They don't know how to like make the book professional. and I know, like deep in my soul, I have invested like 2 years of my life just going into marketing and publishing books. Like I knew everything about it, and I maybe know more the people that work in Amazon themselves. I know all of the tricks that can make your book a bestseller. I really know that I know this, but I have the doubt that nobody's gonna show up. I don't want to charge it so much. I'm afraid, like, if someone asks me a question and I don't know it, uh, what if they go out and the book didn't sell anything, or they didn't know how to apply the knowledge that I gave them? All of these insecurities come to my head when I want to make this workshop. On the other hand, a lot of people are telling me like you have to do it. Everybody needs it here. You have a big potential with this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think I'm with you. So just so I can understand, so when anyone sets up a business, or they want to write a book, or they have a passion or an idea, we have to choose between one of three things, and many of us don't realize this choice that we have to make. We have to make a choice between money, feeling significant, or contribution. The reason why it's so important to choose which of those is the priority is because it changes the solution we might take going forward. What it sounds like to me is that you've got the book and it's given you a sense of significance. It's given you an opportunity to contribute, but actually financially it's not quite working for you at the moment. Would that be fair enough?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So really we want to look through the lens of how can we leverage what you know into a greater financial position, because you've got the other aspects of it. So that is absolutely fine. So once you know what lens you're looking through, you can make different decisions, because some people want to write a book just to say they've written a book and they don't want to make any money from it. Some people want to share their book with as many people as possible. That's different from wanting to make as much money as possible. So that's just one thing there. So we want to go through a financial lens, which is absolutely fine. Now, when you sent me over your personality profile, which is really helpful, so thank you for getting that done. What stood out as very, very important to you is a need for growth when it comes to your confidence. Okay. So for you, you need to see this constant progress to know in yourself, to feel confident in who you are, that actually what you're doing is working. So tell me, how are you measuring your growth at the moment? How does that look at the moment?
Yeah, thank you for this question. I don't feel alive. Like I feel so intimidated, and like my body contracts when I feel
Okay.
like not productive
Yeah.
in any day. Like I feel so sad and unhappy when I pass a day without producing anything. And my biggest feeling and my happiest feeling is the feeling of accomplishment or achievement that I got after like working for five,
Yeah.
6 hours. So I want this feeling to be in my life every day, through a lot of stuff. Like I can get it through writing, I can get it through going to the gym and lift a heavier weight. I can
Yep.
get it through going, because I'm a judge. I work also by finishing some cases.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get like these feelings. Like when I get it, I feel so fulfilled. I feel that my life is complete. I feel perfect.
Yeah.
So the feeling that I have accomplished something today.
Yeah. Okay.
How I
Okay.
measure it, I don't know how I measure it. Like when I have a task like that is meaningful to me and is gonna like put me even a very small step forward, but it's gonna make me step forward, like an email that I send, like a paragraph that I write, a case that I
Yes.
finish. I go to like, if I like go one step forward, even how small it is, I get this feeling.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what it sounds like we need is first and foremost, with growth being so important to you and that progress, and I recognize that any little change, however big or small, always makes us feel like we're moving forward. That's a huge growth is a huge part of fulfillment. And
Yeah.
so I label there are 4 G's to fulfillment. Okay. You have a goal.
Yeah.
So a goal, to give, to grow, and to be grateful. And if you can find a thing that allows you to do those 4 things, but if then you'll feel very fulfilled in your life. But if you're missing any of that, then you need growth. However, having a sense that you have to grow to be happy is also problematic, of course. But what you need at the moment is something day to day, every day of your life, where you can guarantee growth. So we need to put something in place where we know, if I do this every single day, what I have in my life, for example, you gave the gym as an example.
Yeah.
I work out, I'm at a point in my life where I exercise every day. It might not be the gym every day, but I exercise every day. That is one of my things where I know for certain that I am going to do one more rep in any even if the whole workout is the same, and through all of the amount of reps I do one more. That is somewhere where I know every single day I can tick the growth box. For other people, it might be listening to, if they're in the personal development field, they make sure that they listen to something for half an hour every day.
Yeah.
Listen to a TED talk, listen to, Tony Robbins, listen to me, I don't know, whoever.
Yeah.
And so everyone has to have, the successful people have got something where they need growth, but also they've got something where they can control the growth. And what might be causing you some uncertainty, and some of, the more and more uncertainty you have, is what's causing this barrier to be able to cross this financial barrier, because you're uncertain about, actually, if I'm not growing enough, can I actually help my clients grow enough?
Yeah.
And what you need, therefore, is a constant sense of growth. And we need to put something in place where we can say, without question, every single day I can do this. And you said it doesn't matter how big it is, which is fantastic. So what sort of things could you do every day, or what sort of thing can you do every day where you can go, I know I can make progress doing this. That's going to help me in my cause, in my purpose, whatever it is. Give me some examples of things that you could do every day that could give you some growth.
Actually, the controllable thing, and this is why I chose writing, because writing is an independent activity. You
Yes.
don't have to rely on it, like only your mobile or computer to do it.
Okay.
So if we can do, like, if I wrote like 100 or 50 words every day, I can feel this kind of growth.
Okay. So that would be one. So that's one perfect example there.
Mhm.
Now, laddering it up to what you're asking for, which is increasing this sort of financial ceiling, which is, you obviously want growth, but you're also stunted by your own psychological barrier at the moment, in terms of maybe you're suffering from a level of imposter syndrome here, which is very common for anyone in this space to think, actually, you kind of, when you're sat back at home, you think, I can make money doing this. And then the moment comes and you kind of go, oh, I'm not sure actually. And that's very common. So what's very helpful for people is if we find a way that every single day we can find growth that ladders up to your goal of making more money, that's going to be your dream. That's going to be the dream scenario for you, where you go every single day, I'm in control of the growth of making more money.
Yeah. This would be perfect.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So we can do that. So really, I guess the next step for you is to understand how to package what you know. And
this is a major problem that they have.
Yeah. And I have experience in terms of my coaching programs and packaging products and knowing how to do that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Now, this takes time, but I think we can come up with some really good suggestions for you right now. One of the things that's going to help you is getting really clear. And a quote I always use is, clarity brings what we want closer.
Yeah.
The clearer you are of what you do, how you do it, why you do it, all of this stuff, the clearer you are, the closer it comes to you. And I've even got to points in my life where I thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't know what I didn't know. And we're gonna uncover some things that we might not be aware of right now, so we can get even more clarity. And the more clarity you get, it brings it closer, and all of a sudden your certainty increases. And the more your certainty increases, that's where your level of confidence will come from. And all of a sudden, it's not going to take long for you to feel comfortable to charge your value. And so I want you to get to a point where you recognize your value, but you still also believe that however we're going to package all this stuff up, that what you provide is worth even more than a good amount of money that you're going to charge for it. Okay. So what would be helpful right now is to ask you the question, what is it, talk about your book, talk about your coaching that you do. What is it? What's the service you provide? How do you, how do you engage people? What are you helping people with?
Actually, I have a problem that I can help people with a lot of ways. Like I have a happiness program, like but no one has been like trying it. I repackage my book into a coaching program when I take your happiness level like from 0 to 10 through this program. I have also the mentoring of the book, I have called it book coaching. Like I can take you from like no idea to a best-selling author.
Yeah.
This is like another program that I have, or another way that I can help people with. I think this is the two major ways I can help people.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So
I can, yeah.
Please go ahead if you got more.
No. I in this book coaching program, like I can help only with writing, and I can help also only with publishing, and I can help only with marketing. So
yes,
I can divide this program into smaller programs.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Okay. So when it comes to providing a service or coaching programs, there's three areas of life that will always exist. So the world changes constantly. And so needs and desires are always different. But there are three things that will always exist. People will want help in their health, wealth, and relationships. If your program ladders up to one of those, then you're in a good place. What I see with a lot of people, a lot of coaches, a lot of programs, is they're not specific enough and they're not niche enough. And so what happens is they go, oh, well, if I'm too niche, then I'm not going to attract, as many people. And that's a barrier one has to get over, because it doesn't work. And believe me, I made that mistake for years and years and years. So let me give an example. I've got a program around overcoming heartbreak and attracting the love someone deserves. I have also got another program which is about how coaches, consultants, professionals can make more sales. If I put in front of people, who want to make more sales, if I put in front of them a program to do with relationships, they're not going to want it. But guess what? For the people who want to overcome heartbreak and attract love, and that is a huge population of people, if I put my program in front of them, they go, that is the exact program I want. And let me use your example as a way to counterbalance it. Your program on happiness, okay? If someone wants more happiness in their relationships, are they going to come to my program or are they going to come to yours? The likelihood is they'll come to mine because they can see mine specific to relationships. Now, your happiness program, that is absolutely fine. But what's difficult about that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so what will help you increase that financial ceiling first and foremost is being specific about that. So what you could do if you want to carry on with a program like that is choose an area of life where happiness is incredibly important. Relationships is incredibly important. You do not have to be, the absolute most expert person in the world on relationships, but people of course want happiness in their relationships. So how you frame the program is all of that stuff that you've got and how it impacts relationships, then all of a sudden people are going to go, that's the thing I need.
Yeah.
And you're going to get more people than the generic program. The generic program can be more open to more people, but guess what? Generic programs get very low generic prices. But the more we tailor it towards a thing, the better it is. Now, your other idea on your mentoring program in terms of the writing book, I think is fantastic. I think that's a brilliant idea for someone who is a best-selling author such as yourself. That's really good. So tell me how that one's going at the moment. Are these relatively new programs? What's the success like on that one?
Actually, I did only one client with this program. Like,
okay,
we're going to start like at the end of the month.
Good. Okay.
But I didn't like really announce anything about it. Like, it was only a Facebook post, and I got this client through this Facebook post.
Yep.
But I get a lot of like messages and like calls from people that wrote books and they want some help.
Yeah.
And I get really shy when I give them some help, but I don't tell them that I have a program because I feel that it's too expensive. So like I have a lot of people that message me, I wrote a book, I don't know how to publish, can you help me with that? And I don't tell them about the program. I just like give them some quick advice because I will also don't want to feel like I'm wasting my time for free.
Yeah.
So I don't give them the help that they want.
Yeah.
And they don't get the money that they want.
Yeah. Yes, I have been there many times in the past. I know exactly how you feel on that.
Yeah.
And I know when I say this, you'll agree with me that there's no quick fixes, are there? And so
yeah, it's a long process.
Like
publishing and marketing a book is a very long process, and it takes some time and focus.
And so when you have these conversations with people, and by the way, as I said to you, I have a whole program around helping people, those conversations you're having, how to convert those into sales. So, I have a whole program around that, which helps people. But, the elements within that, you have to be very specific. You have to be in the right mindset. You have to have a script. You have to have, things in place. You have to know how to navigate the conversation to be able to charge higher amounts of money, because what you've got to be able to do, and I'll get into this in a second, but first I want to ask you, in terms of these conversations that people are having, if you could bring them into the program, how much would you be charging them at the moment?
From $300 to $400.
$300 to $400. And how long is that for?
3 months.
Okay.
I feel that it's too cheap, but what I'm confident to.
Yes. Yeah. It takes time to build that confidence, when it's new and it's different. So I understand that, but it's good that you know your worth. It's good that immediately go, that's too cheap. Like, talking to me, that is too cheap. That absolutely is too cheap. That should be, that should be 1 month, and then 3 months is that times 3.
Yeah.
Now, because for someone who wants to write a book, I mean, for some people, that's their dream to have a book published. That's their absolute dreams. They go and write it there, and they'll do a lot. And then to market it is a huge element of that. So it's great that you know how to do that. Yeah. And the sorting out the publishing, exactly the same.
Yeah.
So it's good that you recognize the value, but I understand there's that block in between. So here's what's going to help you with this block is tell me what is inside the program. What do they get in terms of, rather than the milestones, what benefits do they get? Okay. So they get to work with you. They get coaching with you. What other benefits do they get?
Like a lot of benefits, like you want the outcome or the process of the program.
So for example, more the process. So for example, some people include video training, some people include an email service, some people include recording. So what do you include in your program at the moment?
No, I didn't like make any other products like I can add to the,
Okay.
but like I can like structure an ebook, a small ebook about like that talks briefly about the process.
Hmm.
That could be a lead magnet or can be an introduction
Okay.
to the program.
Okay.
This could be really easy for me to make an ebook, a small ebook about
Hmm.
how to write and publish a marketing book.
Yep.
Um, Also, we can I can show them like now in November there is a challenge called National Novel Writing Month, where all the writers in the world combine together and get together to write like 50,000 words in this month.
Okay.
I can like show them this kind of challenges, like to get involved in the writing community
Yeah.
and get motivated to, because writing takes a lot of discipline and motivation.
Hmm.
So I can get them through opportunities. Also, I can, as a bonus, I can show them some grants and awards that authors have. So I can show them some of these grants and how
Hmm.
to apply for them and how to get some grants. Uh, all of this I can add to my program. I can make like a schedule or a template for like writing challenge. Like Saturday I wrote this,
Uh-huh.
Monday I wrote this kind. So I
Yep.
can add this like James Clear in his book, the writing
Yeah.
the Atomic Habits. He added some templates with his book.
Hmm.
I get inspired by his work. Uh, so this is what I can add more to the program,
Yeah.
in
Good.
addition to the benefits of the real
Yeah.
program.
I mean, the more things you can add in there, which don't take up more and more of your time.
Yeah.
So a lot of those things you mentioned, you can add in elements which are things that they can do. But the more things you can add in that are valuable, but also don't take up more of your time, is the ideal situation. So one of the amongst adding, by the way, so you've just mentioned all those things, they're high value things. So already
Yeah.
you're totally justifying a lot more than you're charging. So let's for example, and I think you can charge more than this, to be honest. Um, but taking this book example, let's say, for example, each month you charge $400, and for 3 months it was $1,200. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's say if that is a program that's in place. All of those bits you've just mentioned, I mean, each of those individual bits are worth a lot more
Yeah. Imagine
individually.
imagine they get like accepted in a grant of $10,000. Like they can get
Exactly. Yeah. But points like that are very, very important. And when I say they're very important, is when you explain and outline the program to potential clients
Mm,
to justify the amount of money in their head.
yeah.
They've got, when they hear things like, by the way, so this program is $1,200, but actually, if you get this grant, it's worth $10,000.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't pay $1,200 with that opportunity? That's though you'd be mad not to do that, to have that opportunity. Even if you don't get that opportunity,
Yeah, and there are endless like these grants and awards are endless. There are a
yeah,
lot in the world, so they can apply until they get accepted.
yeah. So can I give you a few more suggestions that you might be able to include in your program?
Yeah.
So one of the things I put in my programs, my programs are usually split into two. Okay. So half of it is to do with coaching sessions with me. It's to do with coaching sessions with me where I review their coursework as well. We have depending on where they are, video or face-to-face calls. What else? I have email support. So basically they can access me 24/7, and that's half of the program. So let's, for the sake of, and just throw a random number out there so it's easy. Say my program was 2,000 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So 1,000 of that would be all of that stuff, the coaching, the email support, the reviewing coursework, all of that stuff.
Mm.
The other half would be almost the same thing, but in a online video membership area. Okay. So
Yeah.
what you can then do is, so for example, a typical week with one of my clients might be they have an hour's coaching session with me.
Mm.
Then they watch a 40-minute training video,
Yeah.
and then they do a piece of coursework. Now, if my program was, say, 6 months,
Mm.
and it costs 2,000, that means per week it costs 76, just 76. And in 1 week, they get an hour's coaching session, a 40-minute training video, and a piece of coursework. There are not many coaches out there or anything else like that who may charge for one session, try and charge $100, $200 or whatever. Whereas on average, over a longer period of time, for 76, they get so much more. And that's how I can explain the value to people.
Yeah.
But it's a longer term process because exactly like your book thing, there are no quick fixes and people need to realize that. And so having an online membership area will increase your self-confidence in terms of how much your program is worth, because you've given this whole extra product here that you've got to make in the first place. But once you've made it, it doesn't need any more time. They do that in their own time.
Yeah, this is like what's intelligent about recording videos or making online courses. You do it the effort for one time and you get paid.
Exactly. Exactly. And so what you can do is, your service $1,200. I think your service is already worth $1,200.
Yeah.
But to convince people to come in the first place, having an online training program to go alongside it just adds in the value to them, and they can see the value like, oh, okay, so I've got this permanent resource. Like once, even when I stopped working with you, I've got this thing forever. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. And then they've got coursework they can do and everything else. So you're absolutely right that it's an online training program. It's the way the world's changed. But here's the other thing you can do. Someone can't pay $1,200 for whatever reason. Okay. Then they just get the online membership program for $600. Doesn't take any of your time. They get to use it, they get to try it, and they go, oh my God, this is so good, but I want some personalized help as well. So let me pay you the other $600. And so for some clients who might be a little bit resistant, you go, okay, well that's okay. So, what I have is, if I can take away the initial coach, they say $1,200, they go, oh, I'm not sure, maybe, okay. You ask them the question, okay, is it cost or value? And they'll, so basically what that means is, do they see the value? So that some people say, oh, I don't see why it's worth $1,200. That's a value problem. Yeah. If they go, no, I get why it's worth that much. I just don't have $1,200 at the moment. You can go, okay, that's fine. So what I can do is offer you a scholarship program where if I take away the coaching, the email support and the coursework review, that saves me a load of time. Yeah. And you can try the whole solution out to see if you like it for just $600. Imagine getting paid $600 for doing nothing. But that's sort of what it is. For doing the work once, getting paid $600 for doing nothing. And that's gone.
But I have a subtle limiting belief.
Yeah.
I felt it's in my mind making online programs, but I feel that I have to have a setup and a light and a professional videographer.
No. So
animation.
No. So that's where the beauty comes in, right? Yeah. So this product we're talking through a video call service right now. So this is called Zoom, okay?
Yeah.
Zoom allows you, so it's not a program where you film yourself. You make a PowerPoint slide presentation in each of your videos, okay? And you're recording the screen, not yourself. Okay. So you don't even have to think about lighting or anything else. And that will be actually a lot more valuable because what they can do is they can read the stuff on the screen as well. Yeah. So it removes all the cost in terms of all this stuff. Like, don't worry about it. None of my programs, it's just me talking. It's about showing them again the value, and they can read it and they can listen, and they can watch it. So yeah, you can remove all of that uncertainty. That's absolutely fine. And by the way, to do it through something like Zoom, if you have a presentation, you record and I can help you do this. It takes no time to set up. It takes literally 20 seconds. You record the screen, go through the slide decks, and you can record a video in half an hour, and you don't have to edit it or anything. It's a really, really useful tool. And the beauty of doing this is you can bring people into the program before you've even created it.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is, you bring someone into the program. Okay, right. I'm going to record my first video now. And maybe I'll record 1 or 2 videos a week. I don't have to record the whole thing now. Wait till you know that your product is right, and then start
Yeah,
recording it. But you
yeah.
can sell people straight away on it. So that's so how does that sound?
Uh, that's awesome, but I'm getting a lot of value here. But I have like another question, like where can I like post about it or launch it
Yes.
or how to because I have another limiting belief. Like I have to have like Facebook ads where like $5,000 or
Right. Okay.
or two thousand
Yes.
dollars or
Yes.
Instagram ads or whatever. Like just posting it on like I don't know
Yeah. So
how to like launch it.
there's a few. So obviously all of that takes a lot more dedicated time, but let me help you a little bit, because this is a common thing that people ask me. So
Yeah.
it's great that you've kind of got a product there. Again, the happiness thing, you might want to tie that into, say, relationships or something like that. That would give you
Yeah.
another opportunity. But so we've talked about the programs. So that's what you can do to extend the value of them and make you feel more
Yeah.
confident. So let's talk a little about, if marketing is a problem, let's talk a little bit about that. So what do you currently do for marketing?
Uh, Actually, now I don't do anything, but I'm focusing on my book sales now. But
Okay.
before, I was just like posting every day valuable content about writing and about publishing.
Hmm.
Uh, um, and for once, I like post a post about Amazon publishing mentoring or mentoring and publishing, and I
Yeah.
got this client from it. That's how like organically on Facebook I put some valuable
Okay.
content and waiting for the people to come to me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So when the people who are interested in working with you, you mentioned there have been people who've come along and said, help me publish a book and
Yeah,
help me do this.
yeah.
Where are they typically coming from?
Most of them come in like in they almost finished they didn't like finish it completely, but they almost finished their books and they want to know what to do next.
Okay.
And I really know how to take their hands like to the peaceful shore of
Yeah.
being published or but I have this kind of resistant like I feel they don't have the money. I don't want to embarrass
Yep.
them.
Mhm.
If it's too much for them, how they will feel depressed. So
Yeah.
I don't want to put them in this kind of situation.
Yeah.
So I just like shared an article or a video on YouTube with them, and I leave them, and they
Uh-huh.
tell them if you want anything, just test me again,
Yeah.
and they just disappear.
Okay. So, so there's a few things on that one. So, the first thing I was going to ask you was, but are they coming through Facebook? Are you meeting these people in person? What's happening?
Uh, they either come from Instagram or
Okay.
by referral. Like
Yes.
someone is finishing their book and they ask their friends. Maybe I get some people that I don't know.
Yeah.
They told me that I asked a friend that I want, and this friend I don't know also. I asked a friend that I want. Yeah, yeah. I asked a friend I want to publish a book, and they recommend you to me that to come to help me with publishing.
Yeah.
So I'm getting like well known in this publishing area. Yeah,
Well, if you're getting referrals, firstly, that's fantastic, because that's a great,
yeah,
that's really important for business referrals. So it's clearly a good product. Where do you post the referral? Where do you, if you're getting referrals,
mm,
the people
yeah.
who are referring you, do you get their testimonials?
No, the people that are referring me are not. They are not clients. They are only people who show my work, like saw my work on
Yeah.
Facebook, saw that I offer something, uh, saw that I like. Uh, I published a book on Amazon already. I
Mhm.
have published on all the other online libraries.
Yeah.
So they get impressed. So they tell their friends that there is someone who is doing really well in publishing
Mm.
online. So they can help you. So they are not my client.
But even if they're not your clients, You know, anyone who's had a testimonial is basically anyone who's had an interaction with you that
Yeah,
thinks you're good at what you do.
yeah.
I would, you
Ask
might,
them for
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely ask them. Look, do you mind? Like, I got a referral from you. That's fantastic. Really be helpful. If you can offer something in return, even better.
yeah,
But capture those testimonials, because exactly like the business that you're getting through referrals,
yeah,
we need to capture those because we can use that in the content that you post. And I'll get
yeah,
onto that right now. So one of the blocks you might be having when you're having these interactions with people, and this, you're ending up giving people kind of free advice, and it's you sort of think it's kind of helpful, it's kind of not. You don't
yeah,
want to embarrass them. I get all of that, absolutely. But also it works two ways, that some people, people recognize when something costs a lot of money, that it's valuable, it's more valuable.
yeah.
And one of the
They
things
commit more.
yes,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly that. And they'll commit more time and energy. But you do
yeah,
also have to set yourself apart from everything else that's out there. So, and one of the ways to do that is charging more. And what's great is I can say that, and you're clearly helping people. It's not like I'm saying charge more and I don't know how good you are.
yeah.
You are helping people.
Actually, this service is not provided not only in Egypt, in the whole Middle East. There is no like publishing. It's only in the US that is widespread. A lot of
Right.
companies there are helping you through the self-publishing and the cover. But this like a huge opportunity for me that I want like to grab it. But
Yes. Yes.
and soon enough there's gonna be some person that's gonna come to this area and like gonna crush it, and I'm gonna be going with yeah,
No, that's going to be you. That's going to be you.
yeah. So I want to like crush this opportunity because like it's a huge market for me that is
Yeah.
and a huge need, and the publishing like there is a lot of authors that came up in the Middle East in the last like 10 years after the revolution and the whole of the movement that is coming. So people are more into expressing themselves. So I want to be the place that authors come to when they don't know after finishing their work what they want to do, and I want to help them. So
Yeah.
I
Okay.
see the potential here.
So before I give you a few suggestions,
Yeah.
what in terms of, marketing spend, what do you have money that you could set aside for marketing? How, and if so, how much do you think you could set aside a month, say a month or per day?
Maybe like 1 to 2,000 Egyptian pounds,
A month?
and
Yeah.
yeah, but also because I follow Gary Vaynerchuk for a lot of
Yes.
time, and I believe that if I put like valuable content, I don't need to spend money. Like if I put like one video a week on YouTube, or now I'm doing good with TikTok. Uh, like I'm getting into TikTok, I'm getting a lot of
Yes.
followers.
Okay. Okay.
So so I if I have the courage and I have the discipline to put content regularly on all the media platform, social media, I can get clients without spending any money.
Yeah. Okay. So I totally agree. If your content is valuable, you won't have to spend as much. And
Yeah,
I don't have I don't spend a huge amount on marketing, and yet I know that each month I'll have 30 plus calls booked in my diary for people who want to work with me, and I've not had to do anything to get those.
yeah,
How does that happen? Okay, so let's talk about how that happens. So either way, you mentioned an ebook as a lead magnet. Okay,
yeah,
that's a really good tool. Here's something that I think has worked very well for me and worked very well for other people that might help you a lot more. So I mentioned about in your program creating a slide presentation which you can record and everything else. What's more effective than an ebook is putting up or having a really powerful piece of content, video with a slide presentation that demonstrates the program, not tells you what's in the program, demonstrates the
yeah,
program. Here's why it's so important to do that. One is because if someone gets for free a half an hour, 45-minute video,
Mm.
you will feel less like giving them free advice, because they'll come to you already going, he's given me a shitload of free advice already. Like, of
Yeah.
course, the next step is going to have to spend money with him. Like, this is it. And as we've said before, once you make it once, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
There is a temptation and an obsession with people to continuously make content all of the time. You make one great video, that's all you need to bring in clients. It saves you time and energy, and you want to make that one video so good that people understand who you are. But here's the important part of the difference between, say, an ebook and a video. They can hear you. They get to know you. They get to understand you. And so rather than continuously making content, which we can be really enthusiastic about for a month and then go, it's not really working, and then we kind of get bored and we stop doing it, we make one really good slide presentation, which does a few things. And I'm going to simplify it because, again, in the interest of time, I would need to show you a specific example to show you how to do this well. But here's what we need to do in the presentation. We need to describe their pain points better than they can.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we can say, look, that they have the pain where they are trying to write a book, but they don't know what to write about. They don't know their specific idea. They, those days where it's really like, there's so much anxiety because I don't know how to do this. There's anxiety that I might never get to do this. There's fear building up, and that you can explain what that pain is like. And people go, yes, that's exactly what happens to me.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel. So we can explain their pain better than they can. That we can explain that you don't do quick fixes, that it takes time to do this.
Yeah.
You can explain maybe what other coaches in this area do wrong. So people who help people write books, some people do this. The reason why that's a problem is this.
Yeah.
Two more things. You explain to them your story, because your story and the pain you had to go through to get it done means they can build rapport and resonate with you. And then the last part, which is that at the end of the presentation, you're saying, this is where you can get to. And if you're interested, here's a link to be able to book a call with me for free. Okay. So they've watched this whole presentation. They've gone, that's exactly how I feel. And they've gone, okay. So, and maybe your program says, here are the 3 milestones. This is how to write. This is how to publish. This is how to market. And they go, yes, yes, yes. That's what I need. Okay. Oh, that's his story. Yeah, I get that story. That I can, I get that. And at the end of the session, they go, how can I find out more? And you go, okay, here's the link to book more time with me. What you can do with a video like that, which is the best lead magnet you can possibly create.
Yeah.
You bring in calls where you've not had to work to make the calls, but you've created a warm lead. It's the same as a referral. Because you're not going to go around cold calling people saying, can come join my program.
Yeah.
But people get to know you and they get warmed up to the idea of working with you. And they can see through the presentation, oh God, of course this is going to cost $1,200. I can see why.
Yeah.
At the moment, you're talking to them and you're trying to explain. You're panicking because you're thinking, how do I ever explain it's worth this much money? They need to sit down and see something first. Like any good business plan, that's what it looks like. Okay, right. Now, when it comes to marketing spend or not, it's the sort of video that you can post organically. You can just post it and get interest that way. Or from your Facebook ad, again, because you don't need to spend much money. Here's a Facebook ad, how to write, publish, and market your book in 3 months. Oh, okay. Yes, I'd like to know that. Click on the ad. Up pops this video. They watch the video. Underneath is an opportunity to book a call. They've booked a call. They've seen so much of you already. And what happens is, what I get with some of my clients now is I get people who watch my video. So they've heard me, they get to know me. I call them up after they've booked a call and they go, oh my God, you're the guy from the video, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah, like obviously. And they go, yeah, I didn't think I'd actually get to speak to you. And they're so enthusiastic about speaking to me that it makes my job easier. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the thing. And so I
I
want to
got
make,
the feeling like I had this epiphany moment. Now, like I have this metaphor, like they have been like partially cooked for you to talk to.
yes,
Like
yes, exactly. Yeah, but that's
you
perfect.
are not talking with a total stranger now. You are talking
Yes.
with someone who is familiar with you.
Yeah. And that's the important thing. Yeah, exactly. The more familiar they are, the more they trust you and the more they can believe in what you do. And trust me, I mean, I'm not joking. When you say $1,200, you'll quickly realize that you can charge more than that and people will pay it,
Yeah,
because this is such an important area. As you know, writing a book gives you lots of opportunities. It gives you lots of, connections, lots of
yeah, yeah,
availability,
yeah,
all of this
yeah, yeah,
stuff. And if you can convey all of that value from writing one book, people are
yeah,
going to want to join. So I can see there's a lot of success in that program, and I've seen people who've done similar things. So I know it works. And so creating that presentation will be very important. Again, Facebook advertising. If you have a video like that, you're not going to need to spend much. Really, not going to need to
yeah.
spend much, but you can play around with that. We can talk in the future about writing a good Facebook ad, for example, and how to do that. But having a presentation like that is really important, and it's going to save you time in terms of constantly creating content. Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you was, when you have all these people who are interested, how do you stay in contact with them? Or do you stay in contact with them?
No, I
Okay.
don't.
Yeah. So
If they didn't like show interest, or because I don't like offer them anything that we can do together,
yes.
they they get the small advice that I give them, and they just go away, and like
Okay.
they will find their way on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So firstly, no more small advice, because I guarantee that the next day they don't do it. Okay. No more small advice, because even when you think it's valuable, it takes time, and there
and
are,
because it's for free, they are not going to commit to it if
yes, yes.
it's helping.
So here's what I'd like you to consider in terms of, when someone's interested, we want to keep them around, because even if, say, for example, that presentation I mentioned, people will watch it and they might book a call with you, they might not, but we want to keep those people around because they were interested enough to watch the video. So maybe we have a link saying, join this free Facebook group. Now, you might have a Facebook page, a Facebook business page, but here's what Facebook do, right? And they're very clever at doing this. We all know that we have to spend more and more money on marketing and Facebook and whatever else over a period of time. On a Facebook business page, 1% of people who like the page will see the content. It's ridiculous. It is, and people don't realize that. However, from your Facebook page, if you create a Facebook group, every single person in the group gets a notification saying you have just posted in the group. Every single person. And so what I would like you to consider is all these people, even the people who have already been interested, is that you create a Facebook group, and whatever this program's called, and let's make up a name right now. Let's give it some sort of jazzy name, like Your First Bestseller. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Firstly, that's a brilliant name. I could not have thought of a better one myself. Your First Bestseller. Okay. So you have a Facebook group called Your First Bestseller. Okay. All the people who've shown interest, you send them a link, and say, come join this free group. They come and join the group, and then you post this really powerful content in the group. You might even post the occasional other thing in the group, but you get to carry on the conversation with people who are interested, rather than trying to carry on a conversation with people who aren't yet interested. They have got to show you interest before you carry on the conversation, because otherwise you're just chasing.
Yeah.
It's a bit like in love. I say to people, it's so much better to attract rather than chase love.
Yeah.
If you're chasing love, it's tiring, it's exhausting, it's disheartening. But if you attract it, it's fun, it's enjoyable, it's playful. Knowing how to attract is doing this video presentation. Knowing how to attract is creating a Facebook group where you can keep in touch with everyone. All of this stuff is really, really important. So, are you still in touch with these people, for example, that have shown interest? Could you still be in touch with them?
Yeah, I can remember the names of the.
Yeah,
I can just send them a message. They
perfect.
will be very happy to get a message
Yeah,
from me.
exactly. And it's great. And I don't want you to feel,
Actually,
when
they
gone.
think that I'm super busy because of that. They don't want to take my time.
Yes, yes, exactly. And so you get to control your time. And in the
Yeah,
future, what I'm going to hope is going to be the case for you, that example where I mentioned, for $1,200 that you provided them coaching and this online membership area, this
yeah,
online program. In the future, you'll just sell this online program. You'll be so busy, you'll just sell the
yeah.
online program for $1,200 and you don't have to do any
I
extra
see.
work, but it's still
Yeah,
really valuable to people. And
yeah,
so you'll
yeah,
get to a point where you'll just, if you could just make a sale of $1,200 with no extra work, pull in, a handful of those each month,
yeah,
you're going to be doing well. You're going to be doing really well. So that's another
yeah,
reason for creating that. And that's how you upscale as well, because otherwise you're going to be so in demand, but you're not going to have enough
yeah,
time. So
yeah.
that's going to give you an opportunity to bring that as well. So just, Ali, just tell me your thoughts so far, and then we'll go through any more questions that you have.
Uh, Actually, what like the best thing that I got um, from this call is I had a lot of calls with other coaches that we were talking about marketing and how to package your knowledge and how to make anything.
Yep.
But in this call, like I don't know how to verbalize it, but I got this like digestion or the embodiment of the knowledge that you are saying,
Uh-huh.
uh, especially on this like video that you're talking about that I have to make.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people told me about it, but I didn't get this moment of how this video is gonna transform the lead or the one who is seeing it
Yeah.
to make it like cooked or warm up or
Yes.
ready for me to
Yes.
talk to them without doing a lot of effort into convincing and like pushing.
Yeah.
They're like will come ready for you to close, like it will not take a
Exactly.
lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I was not like making this kind of videos,
Mm-hmm.
because I was not having this idea of what is the benefit of making it.
Yeah.
But now you give me like what the people is going to feel when once they see this video. And I was wondering when I'm seeing a lot of Facebook ads that were too long, of people like making a boost of a video of 1 hour, and now I get the idea
Yes.
like these
Yeah.
people know what you're talking about, like they
Yes.
are cooking the lead to be perfect for them to
Mm.
close.
Yeah.
So now it makes sense, all of the long videos on ads. So now I will think about like structuring something and make a PowerPoint, and maybe I can like give myself a deadline, like maybe like 10 of December to finish
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
this PowerPoint, yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't want to procrastinate. And if I meet like not a lot of content, but I was just like, yeah, I have the outline of the program. I
Yeah.
can just put it into slides
Mm-hmm.
and make some points to talk about,
Yeah.
and this is gonna be perfect. Like I showed one of the people, one of my leads, the outline of the program, and they had like aha moment, like what, like
Good.
this is too much, like this you are giving me too much, like
Yeah.
I'm telling them how to get ideas and how to
Yeah.
write and the discipline of writing and
Yeah.
how to finalize the book and editing and a lot of the writing stuff, then the publishing, go all of this. So if I went through all of this like details or how the program works,
Yeah.
these people that will see the videos will have this like the same moment of like, wow, this is too much, like
Yeah.
she told me when I told her like 6,000 Egyptian pounds, it's like 370 dollars. She told me this is too cheap. I'm not like feel that this is this
Yeah.
is too
Absolutely.
much. So if I explain the same way to other people through video like one time, I maybe will get get a lot of people that will get enrolled into my program,
Hmm.
and they will not like make any of this video until someone gets enrolled.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. Exactly. So that's exactly what I wanted you to get out of all of this. And I'll just say a few more things. This is something definitely worth writing down when you make the presentation. Okay.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
don't pay for what you understand, they
yeah,
pay when they feel understood. It is
yeah,
not about everything you know, it is
yeah,
about that you understand what they're going through. If you can put that in the presentation, you'll do well. What I will
yeah,
do for you is I'm going to send you an example of a web page I have off the back of a Facebook ad, which has the video and then the opportunity for people to book calls. What I would suggest is watch that video, watch, the sorts of things I talk about, the sorts of messages that come across, and think, okay, that's the sort of thing I need to include. And you can look at it and get your own idea of how you're going to use it, because it is a very complicated thing. And I've spent loads of money learning this stuff. So I
yeah,
didn't just pluck it out of nowhere. I've spent the time and money, and now I want to make sure that I can save you loads of time by showing you the best way of doing it. So I'm going to send you that link. So it's going to save you. So you've got a good idea, and then you can start working out how to do it, because it's not just about throwing your whole plan on a presentation.
yeah,
It's that balance between, here are the 3 milestones you need to hit, and I know you feel like this, but here's how I'm going to help you feel like this. And
yeah,
I think you've got gold there, to be honest, Ali. I think it's a program where definitely there's a demand for it,
yeah,
and an opportunity that if you create this really valuable piece of content, if I wanted to, I could never create another piece of content ever again. But I'm still bringing clients, and that's brilliant, because new clients will see that video. But also, my existing clients, it's great. As I said, you're getting referrals. So not only that video that you've got, for example, people will share that video with other people. So that's
yeah,
another way in which you get referrals. That video gets shared and whatever else. So you get more referrals that way online.
yeah,
But when you've got that video there, which is just more powerful than than 99% of the videos out there,
yeah,
then all of a sudden people go, oh, this really stands up from everyone. And if you're saying at the moment that there aren't many people doing what you do where you are,
yeah,
this is going to put you in a different stratosphere. And this is
yeah,
how you're going to take the opportunity now, rather than shit, someone else is coming along, they'll come in and do it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's how you'll take
yeah.
the
And I
opportunity.
can make two versions. I can make an English version and an Arabic version.
Yes, exactly. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. And you'll be in a good position. Ali, before we wrap up, do you have any more questions for me?
Uh, Actually, I want to thank you so much for this like transformative session.
You're very welcome.
Uh, uh, and one last question, and the program, I'm gonna make the program in the same setup that I made the video. Like I make a slides and record
Correct.
my, yeah.
Perfect.
Wow, this
Yes.
is very like very cost controlling.
So
Yeah, yeah,
if you ever need help in terms of how to use this platform that we're using called Zoom, I can explain that in 5 or 10 minutes to you another time. So if you ever have an issue with that, just drop me a message or something, and I don't mind spending 5 or 10 minutes just helping you navigate it. But it's really, really simple, really, really easy. But yeah, look, I think you've got the
yeah,
makings of a really good thing to build off the
yeah.
success you've already had.
Yeah, I had also an insight that I want to share with people that might listen to this episode. Like, when I came to this call, I was thinking about self belief or being having confidence. It's only working with your mind and your beliefs and how you think and how you feel. But yeah, when I came to this call, I was thinking about self belief. It's only working with your mindset and your feelings and managing your feelings and how you act in the world. But what I had from you today, it's like not only this mindset work and the work that you do on yourself. It's only you have to like back it up with some technicalities and
Mhm.
knowledge, and so you have to have this confidence
Mhm.
in what you do and what you offer to people. So it's not
Mhm.
only working with your mind and mindset, You have to only have some knowledge and technicalities and experience to like combine them together to have this belief in yourself and belief in what you offer to people.
I think that's a fantastic point, and that's something I've been talking about recently, coincidentally, with people.
Yeah,
Is people, I get a lot of people who come to me and go, "Oh, the law of attraction, it didn't work," and I go, "Okay, well, what did you do?" And they go, "Oh, I thought about this thing that I really wanted really hard all of the time," and I went, "Okay, then what did you do?" "Oh, no, but it didn't happen." People
yeah,
misunderstand the law of attraction. The law of
yeah,
attraction is the idea that you visualize something to a point where you start to get so specific about what you want, your brain starts working out the actions you need to take and then
yeah,
taking the actions. I totally
yeah,
agree with you. It's
yeah,
confidence and everything else. Of course, you know, there's no point saying, for example, you'll be, you know, you wouldn't get more confidence with your business if you
yeah,
made 10 times more money or knew how to make 10 times more money. If I said to you, here's the
yeah,
strategy
yeah,
specifically to make 10 times more money, of course I'd give you more confidence. So
yeah,
you're at, I think that's a fantastic point. That yes, the mindset and the frame of mind we show up day to day is really important. But if you have advice like you do with a specific skill, then if you can
yeah,
teach them in that program how to get their head right, but also the
yeah,
technicalities of what they do, you've got a perfect program.
yeah,
Absolutely, I totally agree with you.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Thank you so much,
You're very
David.
welcome, Ali. Okay, all right. Well, I'll keep in touch and I'll share the link with you. But it's been a really enjoyable conversation. I'll speak with you soon.